place your bets. You have a couple of minutes to predict who is going to qualify here for DreamHack North America. It's going to be a Protoss, but which Protoss? There can be only one. Oh, as I quickly try and set this up. Up. Beautiful. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here of Data Under the Sea, we have the American Protoss player himself. He is blue, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Nina. Oh, sorry, PattyMac. Look, I'm still waking up. Okay, I'm still waking up. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have the other American Protoss player. But this one is red. This one is representing License to Kill. She is Nina. PattyMac versus Nina, a player that is a little bit newer to the scene against a veteran of the North American scene. Let us go. Oh. So far, both players going for some standard openers here on Data C. Because of the ramp, gate expands are incredibly common here, as we do see both players are going to be checking each other, and they're going to be as annoying as possible here to delay each other's nexus for as long as they can. It's just current PvP meta. And then we're going to be playing a little bit of a game on chicken. You know, does any player try and go for their tech a little bit faster, or are they going to commit and try and expand and take their natural bases? Are they going to make their zealots? We'll see. Already zealots are on the way for both players. Again, the purpose of this is because both players are looking to pylon block and maybe even gateway or even cybercore block as well to delay the natural. So we will need zealots to shoo away these probes and to make sure that both players can expand. Go again, is that both being as annoying as possible, and it looks like we will not be seeing a cancel. Both players will commit and make their zealot, and sometimes this is enough damage. Sometimes, again, the Protoss player is like, okay, you just made a zealot, obviously I'm not going to be able to get a pylon, I'm happy with this, and both players respond in the same way. Despite the fact that they had options, they opt to delay their own bases, and they both go for Stargates. Oh my god! Interesting. Okay, a couple of things happened. Nina, her probe was eventually killed by that zealot, and she was able to scout the Stargate, but immediately PattyMac cancels and he goes straight for the Twilight Council. So PattyMac playing with some mind games right now, just trying to deceive Nina. Meanwhile, on the side of PattyMac with his probe across the map, it was also killed, but he was unable to scout that tech. So he's going to be going across the map with his first Zealot and Stalker. Thankfully for PattyMac, the Stargate is a part of the wall, so PattyMac will get eyes on this and he will see the first unit. So a couple of things. Because Nina thinks she's going up against a Stargate, she has the option to go into a Phoenix instead, but no, instead she commits to the Oracle, and this is scouted by PattyMac. So now back at home, he is preparing. A shield battery is thrown down in the mineral line, so one Oracle shouldn't really be able to do too much. At the same time, because we have a Twilight Council, PattyMac is looking to be the aggressor, and he's setting up a proxy gateway across the map. Oh my god! He's going for a one base all in. We have 3 gateways back at home. We have a full wall off here with 2 pylons. We have a 4th gate on the way. 4 gate blink. Let's go! Something you don't see too often anymore. Meanwhile, it looks like Nina is going to be taking this seriously upon seeing these 2 Stalkers. Doesn't want to be bamboozled. Is throwing down a shield battery. Only one though. Only one. Also forced to keep this Oracle at home. So correctly reading the situation right now, even though she has very limited information, is continuing that probe production. Meanwhile, PattyMac is going all the way, and he wants a kill on that Stalker. Doesn't get it. Oh, but he's going to be able to bully all of this back until the shield battery finishes. Oh my god, Nina goes for the full surround. PattyMac overextending heavily here. The first 2 Stalkers are going to go down. PattyMac is supposed to snowball, and the snowball is not happening. Both Stalkers and the Zealot goes down for 3 probes. We didn't even need an overcharge. Meanwhile, Nina has scattered the Oracles. I mean, the Stalkers. Hasn't quite seen the proxy, so she doesn't know how committed PattyMac is going to be right now, but there is that Void Ray. Void Ray, exactly what Nina needs. Across the map, we're going to be seeing a full scout. Nina confirms, okay, you're going for a one base all in. Now all I need to do is defend. We have an overcharge. Is this premature though? I am a little bit concerned here. Oh god, as PattyMac has 7 Stalkers to the 1 of Nina. We have so much DPS here, but the Void Ray is about to pop out without an overcharge to support. Here we go, the Void Ray does come out in time, but there are so many Stalkers. We have a Blink on board as well, and one more volley is going to be enough to take down the Void Ray. He will back off in the end. The Void Ray will back off, but completely gives up the natural. And with this, half of the production for Nina is going to be depowered. We have one more gateway in the main base. We have more gates on the way as well as a Robo. But again, the natural base is forfeit. I love it. Nina even has a backup Cybercore in the main as well, recognizing that she could lose one on the low ground. But PattyMac doesn't care about the tech. He doesn't care about the production. He goes straight for the kill. He goes straight for the main. Oh my god, another blink on board. Void Ray will go down. PattyMac is being forced down the ramp, and we do see a very clutch force field here for Nina. But we blink on forward anyway. We have the high ground vision. Robo is done for an immortal, but I don't think there's enough time. We do have 2-3 shield batteries being set up. We have an overcharge as well, but there's just so much DPS, so much burst damage. Another blink on forward. There's only 2 Stalkers remaining, 1 Stalker remaining. GG gets called, and PattyMac will take the first game. GG with a 4-gate blink Stalker all in. Unfortunately, Nina, it took a long time for her to scout what was happening. Despite the fact that Nina did go for an Oracle first, if you remember, the Oracle stayed at home and threw down a stasis trap instead of going out across the map. So Nina was a little bit paranoid, but in a way her paranoia put her behind because she needed to go across the map as soon as possible and recognize what was happening. As soon as she would, I imagine she'd be throwing down more gateways, she'd be relying less on probe production, she'd be throwing down more shield batteries as well, maybe even a second pylon. The reaction to the aggression was late because the scouting of the aggression was late as well. GG, and now PattyMac will take a nice 1-0 lead in this series. But again, it's only 1-0. There are still plenty more games to come as this is a best of 5. Oh, but a very explosive game 1 as well. And I think what's very important about that first game is that PattyMac was able to take that game on Data C, a map that is much more macro oriented, so not allowing Nina to get into her comfort zone. As we are now switching things up and diving into game number 2, and it's going to be on Inside and Out. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the American Protoss player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is PattyMac. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the American Protoss representing Team License to Kill LDK. It is Nina. And once again, one of the features of this new map pool are these ramps at the natural expansion. So these gate openers, these gate expands are that much more common. Oh. As we do get a little bit of a pro boop in the middle of the map. You love to see it. A lot of love here to be had between our American Protoss players. And yeah, both players will be scouting each other, and we're going to be seeing a similar story here. Again, time to wind things back. Maybe a reason, probably actually the biggest reason, as to why Nina stayed at home with her Oracle is because of the Stargate opener of PattyMac. If you remember, both players initially threw down Stargates, and Nina scouted the Stargate of PattyMac upon seeing that if PattyMac had gone for a Phoenix first instead, then it would have been the correct choice for Nina to stay at home with her Oracle. Otherwise, at risk of losing the Oracle across the map. So everything would make sense. Again, a very unexpected thing happened, and that was the fact that PattyMac cancelled his Stargate. Meanwhile, speaking of unexpected, we have a probe moving out towards the bottom left-hand corner of the map. Very suspicious as a pylon is thrown down. And this is an ideal position for a proxy Stargate. Oh boy, we're just going to be waiting for the Cybercore to finish up. Nina is being as annoying as possible here at that natural base, but now she should be wise. Something's wrong. You did not make a Zealot. And here we go. Nina goes for a full wall off here on 2 bases, goes straight for that Stargate. Meanwhile, PattyMac, oh my god, doesn't go for a Stargate. goes for a Twilight Council. Oh my god. Okay, we do have a 2-gate opener here from PattyMac, so he is going to have access to that production. Also, another red flag here for Nina, so Nina knows that something is wrong. Does end up losing her probe out on the map though, and because of the full wall-off, Nina is going to be playing in the dark. Doesn't quite know what is happening. Again, is aware of the 2-gate, so because of this, very smart, she's going for a Void Ray. Meanwhile, with this Adept, it looks like PattyMac is going to be able to confirm the Twilight Council, sorry, the Stargate before Nexus is going to confirm that a Void Ray is on the way. So Nina is being incredibly defensive, and PattyMac is fully aware of that. Again, Nina investing in defenses other than in aggression, as there is no Oracle or even a Phoenix on the way. And PattyMac has options. With this Proxy Twilight Council, if this wasn't scouted and if Nina wasn't going for a Void Ray first, it's possible that PattyMac would have committed and gone for a Proxy Dark Shrine, instead to try and punish the greed here of his opponent. But because he scouted this Void Ray, is going for Blink instead, and is going for an expansion. So honestly, a pretty standard opener here from PattyMac, just proxied, is vulnerable. The tech is vulnerable at least, but is looking to expand. Meanwhile, again, as Nina is a little bit paranoid as to what is coming her way, we have a second pylon on the low ground, so everything stays powered here. We even have a second Void Ray on the way as well, even a third Void Ray. Oh my god, there we go. Nina, after getting her second Void Ray, does recognize, doesn't need a third. Something is not right. There is no aggression coming. Nina can't macro. And I love it. From here is going straight to a Robo. So, because we're lacking a Twilight Council, and because we're lacking Gateways, because we're lacking Stalkers, Nina is going to be relying on high-tech units, Void Rays, and on Immortals to kind of survive and make up for this. There we go. Likewise, we have a third Void Ray on the way. Oh my god. We have a third Void Ray on the way, and we should be commencing Immortal production soon. Nina, oh my god, I assumed that Nina was, again, recognizing the lack of aggression, but we even have a Stasis Trap here in the main to avoid any kind of aggressive blink. In the natural, sorry. Meanwhile, after that Stasis Trap, Nina's going to be rushing across the map, and she will get her first eyes on whether or not there is a one base all-in. With this, Nina goes straight in, does confirm the Nexus, does confirm the probe count, and now she can get the hell out. That is all the information she needs. She knows that, okay, I can back off, I can look to eventually break out, look to eventually take a third base. Meanwhile, we were talking about Immortal production, and there it is. We have Immortals, we have Stalkers, we have Void Rays. Again, very Stalker light, but we're making up for that in high-tech powerful units like Void Rays and Immortals. Meanwhile, we do see PattyMac being insanely active here with his Stalkers. I'm sure he is waiting for Nina to push out and to try and expand. Nina already looking to do so, working on that Stargate. And PattyMac has to be careful. If he aggressively blinks forward, there is that Stasis. Looking to try and bait him in. Blink is already done, by the way. Immortal is already, the shield is already popped. But PattyMac doesn't take the bait. Behind this, we have a third Nexus. Behind this, we have a Forge, we have a Robo, we have Charge on the way at the proxy location. Up! As we see a Blink on forward, and the Oracle is sniped. Ooh. Nina activating Prismatic Alignment is going to be able to force all of this back. PattyMac has to respect this. He has to back off. Is going to be rotating back over. And oh my god, with the pathing of his Stalkers, Nina is going to scout the Proxy Twilight Council. She knows. And there we go. She's going to rotate on over. This was definitely a mistake here for PattyMac. PattyMac wants Charge. He needs Charge. But upon revealing the Proxy, Nina is going to be able to depower and get a kill on this Twilight Council. Again, a bit of a crucial mistake here for PattyMac. There we go. PattyMac is forced to rebuild. PattyMac is forced to just stay on just pure Blink Stalkers. And Immortals, to be fair. Here we go. Nina is pushing out at the same time. PattyMac's pushing in, but there is that Stasis Trap. It is going to trigger and force a recall. PattyMac barely able to get a kill, snipe on that pylon as he escapes. Nina gonna be forcing this back up. Ooh, losing a Void Ray in the process though. Oh, and PattyMac doesn't lose a single unit. But these Stalkers are stasis in a precarious position. PattyMac is going to commit. He's going all the way in, but losing his Stalkers in the middle of the map. Nina has a lot of momentum right now, but Nina turns around. Honestly, a pretty crucial moment. PattyMac needs as much time as possible. What do we have to defend? We have Immortals. We have Shield Batteries. We have Sentries for Force Fields. We're going to have an overcharge, but is it going to be enough? We don't have a single Shield Battery at the natural base. PattyMac wants to fight at the third. A couple of Force Fields are going to help out, but we have the Blink on 4. The Immortal of PattyMac is going to go down immediately. And I don't know if there's going to be enough. Overcharge is popped, but Nina can just avoid it. That's exactly what she's doing. She's rotating over towards the natural base instead. The gateways are exposed. The cyber core is exposed. And the boys are being pulled. Desperation move here for PattyMac. Oh, is going to be able to get the Immortal, at least. And PattyMac is going to survive. Again, PattyMac is ahead in bases, so he can afford to lose probes. This is okay. PattyMac is going to dance with the army. We do have a secondary War Prism coming in. PattyMac just dancing as best as he can. You know, warping in another wave of the Stalkers. Did end up losing her Immortal. Now only has 2 Void Rays. Oh. PattyMac just poking, prodding, getting eyes on that army. Again, he is down when it comes to the overall Stalker count. He still doesn't have any Shield Batteries at the natural. Uh-oh. PattyMac. Where are the Shield Batteries, Papi? They're at the third. They're not helping. And this may just be a little bit too much. The Concave is looking quite good. We do have the activation of Prismatic Alignment. So PattyMac's going to be able to hold on a little bit longer. Oh, God. But that Cyber Core is being focused. And with the death of the Cyber Core, that's going to be the end of these big Stalkers. Did we have charge? No, we never restarted charge. Where are the chargelets? Ah! And it looks like Nina just has a little bit too much. The Cyber Core goes down, and now we can only warp in Zealots. Again, slow loss. The damage is too much. Nina has broken on through. She's breaking into natural. The boys are being pulled, but there are not enough Stalkers. There are not enough gateways. Every single probe is being pulled, and Nina will be fighting back in this series, tying things up. GG. Honestly, pretty crucial that Nina was able to get a snipe on that Twilight Council to be able to deny charge, forcing that to be remade, forcing the Twilight Council to be remade, and charge was never restarted. I don't know if you noticed there. Oh, there we go. I don't know if you noticed there, but PattyMac was struggling to warp in Stalkers because of gas. He didn't have enough gas. He had plenty of minerals, but just couldn't warp in the units that he needed, and he wasn't just going to warp in vanilla Zealots either. So yeah, things just didn't pan out for him in the end, and Nina with a very powerful 2-base all-in. All PattyMac had to do was defend, and there are a couple of things, right? There is, of course, the fact that charge was denied. There's also the fact that we never had any shield batteries at the natural, which is, again, minerals that PattyMac could have invested in. He was relying so much on defending at his third base, and again, those shield batteries never came into play. PattyMac basically didn't have a defender's advantage. Oh boy. And with that, we are now tied up 1-1, and we are going to be going into game number 3. Ooh, meanwhile, we have confirmation. The final round 1 match has finally wrapped up. Riser did take down Binsky 2-1. My condolences to Binsky. Again, Papi Spaghetti. We got a lot of love for him from the previous season, but Riser is looking to be too strong. And now we're going to be loading into our second game which will take place on Tropical Sacrifice. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, we have our American Protoss player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is PattyMac. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Tropical Sacrifice, we have the American Protoss player representing License to Kill LTK. It is Nina. boy, once again, both players going for standard openers, going for their low ground pylons, going for their gate expands. And we've been able to see 2-base aggression from both of them. Well, I mean, to be fair, PattyMac did go for a 1-base all-in in game 1. So PattyMac going for the 1-base all-in, Nina going for the 2-base all-in in game 2. Now, how will things shape up in game number 3? Again, PattyMac was so close to defending, but just didn't have any defensive structures at his natural. Also, again, was denied his upgrades. So he was never able to really make full use of his defender's advantage, or any defender's advantage. And yeah, I think what's great to see is that we have seen some pretty unique games so far, as, PattyMac once again goes for a 2-gate opener. Oh boy, very reminiscent of the last game. Ay, ay, ay. And PattyMac actually goes for a full wall off as well. So this should be ringing alarm bells already to Nina. Looking at the vision of Nina, she still has the probe in the main base. She sees everything. She sees the full wall. She sees both gateways. So this is a lot of information already. And she's going to be able to keep this probe here in the natural base of PattyMac just to confirm that it is going to be a 1-base play. Oh my god. Nina even scouting the proxy pylon, and I don't know if PattyMac noticed. The probe did go down towards the low ground, and yet PattyMac is now fully aware that he has been scouted. Oof. But commits anyway and goes for the proxy robo. Bold move by PattyMac. The Zealot is already here. Nina is already going to be chipping away at this pylon. I believe we do have 2 Adepts on the way, but again, this pylon is not going to finish. And PattyMac isn't going back to throw down another pylon to repower this. So, this is going to be shut down. Ooh, doesn't cancel the... there's no way to cancel the pylon. Does cancel the Robo Bay, and we are going to be seeing a proxy gateway follow-up. So, PattyMac is going to double down on the aggression. Unfortunately, as this probe goes down the ramp, it will get scouted. Nina is aware of the 1-base all-in. I mean, of course she is. I mean, she's in the main. She's in the natural. She sees everything. And this is gonna fall in its face. The first Adept already going down. The second Adept being forced away as well. PattyMac going for a third proxy. The proxies, they just don't stop. And this is just looking worse and worse here. I mean, PattyMac is going to have the numbers advantage, and he is going to be able to hold on to his proxy gateway. But what is the purpose of this pylon here towards the top left? The probe actually doesn't commit. The probe comes back. And again, Nina has plenty of time to respond. We have 1 shield battery. We have 2 shield batteries. We have 2 pylons. We have a 3rd shield battery. We have Void Rays. It's going to be nigh impossible to break the natural, actually. Like, there's just no way. Meanwhile, we have an Oracle slipping into the main base, and PattyMac doesn't have anything ready. Shield battery is a little bit late. He's being forced to push on in. He will be getting a kill on one of these Stalkers. The shield batteries just weren't enough here, so PattyMac is actually finding some damage, to be fair. Meanwhile, 7 probes went down across the map. Ay, ay, ay. The economy of PattyMac has been crippled. We have the first Void Ray. PattyMac unable to take down. Oh my god, even forces the overcharge. Oh, and that will cost him a Stalker. PattyMac being a little bit slow, being unable to shut down that Stargate before the Void Ray pops out. I do think that that was a win condition for PattyMac. Now, I just don't know if he has an EBS. Does have some sentries, does have some force fields, I guess. We'll have the Guardian Shield if he needs it, as the Stargate is going to go down. With that, PattyMac breaks into the main base. We have 3 pylons here. Killing these pylons is not going to be enough. We do have a force field, so another Stalker will go down. And PattyMac is actually doing it. Oh my god. I am shocked. 3 shield batteries apparently not going to be enough. The pylons are going to go down. The gateway on the low ground is going to be depowered. PattyMac could try and force his way up into the ramp, up into the main base, and I do think he should. He's wasting a lot of time at the natural. Ay, ay, ay. Again, maybe a little bit worried, a little bit scared, trying to push himself up this ramp, is going to get force fielded out. The shield batteries have finished. We have a robot. We have an immortal. It looks like PattyMac cannot push up this ramp. Going to have to commit to the low ground. And PattyMac technically could expand from here. did end up losing 2 Stalkers trying to push up this ramp. We now have an Immortal. Pushing down the ramp is going to be difficult because PattyMac can slice up that army, can go for a force field. Oh my god, the recall to low ground! Oh my god, the big brain plays from Nina is going to cost her the Immortal. Oh my god, and a lot of probes as well. Is this worth it in the end? I mean, she is ahead in bases. She can afford to lose probes. But is going to lose the Immortal, is going to lose the Void Ray. Even the second Immortal, barely going to survive. I love the moves here by Nina. Again, bypassing the issue of pushing down the narrow choke point, going for the recall instead. But took a lot of losses. Ay. Again, Nina can replenish her probes, can replenish her workers. PattyMac is still 1 base all in, contemplating, thinking about expanding. And is eventually going to take down this base. At the same time, we have a Shade of Adepts, and more probes are going down. PattyMac, despite being scouted, despite the fact that Nina was preparing so hard for the 1 base all in, PattyMac didn't care. The Nexus goes down. This is actually insane. Meanwhile, PattyMac has a Stargate in his main base. He has access to detection. If Nina wanted to go for a Dark Shrine, it would not work. I guess I missaw things. I thought I saw a Twilight Council, but no, there is not. There's just a Robo. And Nina only has a single gate. She just doesn't have any production. Barely getting out of the supply block. Doesn't have the economy either. We have 2 Immortals, but more Adepts are shading on in. And PattyMac, all he has to do is just kill as many workers as possible. There we go. We have 4 Adepts. I don't see a way back from here. The Immortals are going to be able to force everything back, but the Adepts are just too much. Ugh. The Adepts do shade out in the end. Nina down to 11 probes. Still has 2 Immortals, and Nina will be able to shut down this proxy in the middle of the map. But again, PattyMac can expand. We have 2 more shield batteries being thrown down. PattyMac has the resources, has 400 minerals. Oh, never mind. It goes for another pylon. Oof. And from here, how does Nina win? How do we come back? There are a couple of comeback mechanics. Maybe Robotics Bay, where we have a prism so Nina can micro her heart out. Does take down a Stalker. Again, there is a world where maybe she can just out DPS everything and outmaneuver. There we go. Another short Stalker goes down. Nina finding some damage. Oh, but we have double Oracle coming into the main base. Oh my god. Everything is getting depowered at the natural, by the way. Nina is getting a little bit out of control, a little bit out of hand. Meanwhile, with the power of 2 Oracles, oh god, these probes are not long for this world. Ay. Meanwhile, Nina is breaking on through with these Immortals, but this is the win condition. PattyMac goes for a Void Ray. Immortals do not shoot up. This game is getting very messy. But again, Void Rays are going to be the hard counter here. And there it is. GG gets called. PattyMac fights back in this series and takes game number 3. Wow. That is insane. GG. I see Oz Protoss in the chat. Damn, I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead. This all started with PattyMac's 1 base all in being scouted, with the proxy Robo being scouted, with the proxy Gateway being scouted as well. Everything was scouted, and Nina was doing everything right. Nina threw down 3 pylons at the natural, 3 shield batteries. Void Rays were being cornered out as well. Like, everything that she was doing was right, but she was a little bit slow to target fire with her shield batteries. If you remember, the Stargate went down, and those shield batteries weren't really, they weren't trying to keep it alive. They were left on their own. And yeah, you could argue that maybe she could have handled the engagement overall a little bit better. Maybe she was a little bit overconfident just because of the position of the natural, right? Like, I don't think anyone believed that she would ever be broken. I don't think she believed that PattyMac would just double down and commit and force himself up that ramp. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. And with that, we are now getting into game number 4. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Moondance, we have the American Protoss player himself, representing the CranKy Ducklings, currently up 2-1, only needs one more win to qualify for DreamHack North America. It is PattyMac. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Moondance, we have the other American Protoss player, representing Team Licensed to Kill LTK. It is Nina. Oh my god. This series has been wild, and this is why we go for the PvPs, papi, especially in North America. This time though, on Moondance, there is no ramp going into the natural base. Neither player is willing to risk a low ground gate expand, so both players are going to go for the gateways in their main on the high ground. Wow. Here we go. Meanwhile, shout out to Seal Mold in the chat as well, throwing down some ducks to show his support, and we have the 2 gate openers here from our 2 players. It is time to play our favorite game of PvP. What are the 2 units going to be? And I do think that PattyMac is known for his aggression, especially on Moondance. Is it a little bit predictable? Maybe, but PattyMac, I think, is going to go for 2 Adepts. If Nina is aware of that, I wouldn't be surprised if Nina opens up with 2 Stalkers. Meanwhile, both players are being as annoying as possible with their probes, trying to stick around for as long as they can to scout the first 2 units that do come out. Again, a little bit of damage being done to these probes, but nothing too major. The goal of these probes, again, is to figure out what first 2 units are going out, just so they can prepare mentally and physically for this. And here we go, just as we assumed. 2 Adepts here for PattyMac and 2 Stalkers for Nina. And as soon as Nina does confirm this, by the way, her Stalkers are going to be looking to intercept these Adepts in the middle of the map. PattyMac throws down the shield battery and does lock that probe into the main base. And a couple of things here are important. Just because we're opening up with 2 Adepts doesn't mean that PattyMac is going to be hyper-aggressive. Only if he gets 2 more Adepts after this. But no, he goes double Adept into double Stalker. Again, Nina is fully aware of the Adepts coming across the map, so she knows that she has to try and intercept them, either in the middle of the map or here on top of the ramp. It's going to be on PattyMac to try and bypass said Stalkers. And it looks like Nina is moving over towards the right-hand side, did chase down the probe on the left, and the Adepts do slip through the middle. Nina should have enough reaction time here as we have 2 more Stalkers coming out, and we do not have a wall off. Uh-oh. Nina a little bit slow to respond. The Adepts get in, and the Adepts are going to get economic damage. Ay. This should not have happened. 4 probes go down. It looks like only 4 probes, but the Adept will escape as well. So 4 probes for 1 Adept is well worth it here for PattyMac. PattyMac also, with that Adept, was able to get a full scout of the main base and did confirm the Twilight Council as an opener. Oh, even gets a 5th probe. Ay. PattyMac also saw the Twilight Council researching, so he is fully aware of the Blink Stalker opener. We have a couple of shield batteries on the way. Nina, her Nexus is late as well, so PattyMac knows that he is to be the defender. 4 Stalkers versus 4 Stalkers. Again, PattyMac has shield batteries that is natural this time, so he should be perfectly fine. And it looks like he's even going to be the first to shoot. Ooh. Does maintain control of that high ground. Does force Nina to rotate around here to get up on top of this ramp. Behind this, because PattyMac did go for a robo opener, we have Immortal Production to make up for the fact that he won't have Blink. We have 3 gateways as well. And PattyMac is going to be perfectly fine. Does open up with 2 of these sentries. And with the help of these sentries, he will be able to go for a Hallucinated Scout later to confirm whether or not there's going to be a Dark Shrine or even a robo follow-up. As for the time being, PattyMac does have the advantage in production, has 3 gates as opposed to the 2 gates of Nina. Nina's going to be trying to reinforce here, but yeah, Nina has to give up this position. If Nina stuck around, she would be force fielded and she'd be forced to fight. Oh boy, meanwhile, PattyMac wants this army. He wants the engagement. Another force field being thrown down. 2 force fields for 1 Stalker, not bad. A trade that PattyMac is willing to take. Does end up losing one of his own sentries. And Nina rotates around, trying to bypass that army, trying to get into the natural. Again, she does have blink, doesn't have high ground vision, though, doesn't have a way into the main. And PattyMac is looking to take a third. Oh boy. Oh, Nina playing with fire. I love it. So Nina should be aware that she is behind economically, and she is going from a robo straight into a robotic space. She wants to rush into disruptors. Honestly, a great way to come back. We all know that disruptors are the great equalizer. You could be down 30, 40, 50 supply, but 2 disruptors in a dream, and you can win the game. Ay, ay, ay. So you love to see it. Unfortunately, this is going to get scattered. We have a Prism sneaking into the main base. Oh, a bit of an auto attack is going to give Nina a bit of a heads up. At the same time, Nina does blink into the main of PattyMac. So both players are going to be losing a couple of workers. There's so much lost mining time available here. A force here to Nina. Nina is forced out of the main base, and again, 2 adepts is all you need to deny mining time. Also, a great scout. PattyMac recognizes that disruptors are going to be on the horizon. Recall is forced here from Nina, so she has to come all the way back home, not before losing 2 probes in the end. And there is that first disruptor. So because of the forced recall, PattyMac is going to have a little bit of breathing room here. PattyMac is also going to maintain his economic lead. He's ahead in probes, and he's also going to be ahead in bases, as he has a third on the way. But again, that may not matter in the face of disruptors. More than anything, PattyMac needs blink. He needs blink to be able to micro against said disruptors. Also, thankfully, I believe PattyMac was able to keep that prism alive. There we go, there is a warp prism, so until he gets blink, he does kind of have blink in the form of that warp prism. Meanwhile, we do see Nina moving out with an observer, does have full vision of the main army of PattyMac, is fully aware of its location, so she knows that she doesn't have to worry too much about any kind of aggression on her side of the map other than that prism, other than the warp prism sneaking in. So she is going to keep a couple stalkers here in the main base, is going to move out with her army, does intercept the hallucination, as she was able to scout that, even scouts the second Haluk here. This time will not go for her. She has vision! Oh no! She sees! PattyMac! Oh no, the prism, the disruptor shot is going to go off and does connect with only 1 immortal. That could have been so much worse. Ay, ay, ay. Very cheeky play there by Nina, trying to catch the army unawares. As Nina blinks into the main. And PattyMac cannot keep up. Very sick moves here by Nina, going to be able to get into the main base and going to be able to snipe so many of these probes at the same time. PattyMac is going to be able to ferry into the main, but Nina just blinks into the third. Despite the fact that PattyMac is ahead in bases and ahead in economy and ahead in workers, Nina is doing a great job at coming back. This will cost her all of these stalkers, to be fair, but let's be honest, this is damage that needed to be done. If it wasn't, she would be miles behind in the economy. Meanwhile, you'll have to see we have 3 disruptors here for Nina, like in a bit of like a Bermuda triangle. Whatever goes into the triangle is never to be seen again. Ay, ay, ay. God, this is disgusting. Oh my god! The Nova goes off! And PattyMac was not paying attention. 4 stalkers go down. We have a recall, and the disruptor will survive. Very nice moves here by Nina. We have another disruptor coming in from behind, coming in to flank the army. And PattyMac still does not blink. Oh god, we have so many disruptors. And from behind, Nina is shocking around there with that disruptor. Another Nova going off. This time we do have that blink. Oh my god, but we have a blink on forward for Nina, and the prism goes down. Oh, and another Nova is going off. Nina is just shutting down this push. The Immortals fall, the Stalkers, the Prism. Nina is going for a massive counterattack. Again, PattyMac down now in workers, down in army, down in tech. The one thing that PattyMac has going for him is +1 attack. +2 is on the horizon, so he can eventually get into a double upgrade advantage. But fighting against these disruptors, it's just not going to happen. But it's so difficult to pull off. Oh. Meanwhile, here we go. We have a couple more zoning disruptors here coming out. PattyMac trying his heart out, fighting his heart out, trading as best he can. Does get 2 of these reinforcing stalkers. So Nina having a hard time breaking in and getting anywhere near that natural. She does have vision though. She can spot the rotation. She sees the army rotating towards the bottom left. Or down the ramp even. Up. Up! Oh, god, Jesus Christ. Another Nova almost getting... PattyMac expanding and taking a fourth? He's crazy. He's insane, Poppy. He's insane. But it looks like PattyMac is going to be able to keep up with these rotations, and he does force Nina back. Again, Nina pushing up a ramp is so difficult, even with disruptors. Despite that, she does have vision. She does spot the army. If the army ever moves out, she can push up the ramp, as she does here on the right-hand side. Ooh, and she out-positions PattyMac. Ay, ay, ay. Again, he doesn't know that there's an observer here. He doesn't know that there's an observer just watching all of his movements. Meanwhile, he's coming in from behind, but Nina sees everything. Oh! You see a blink go forward. One disruptor will go down. It looks like PattyMac is going to take a decent fight here, but he does lose his fourth, and another Nova goes off! Oh god, and that's just too much damage, puppy. Oh, the juiciest Nova possible. We see the blink on forward. Nina doesn't even need her disruptors anymore. She just needs pure stalkers. Finally, the observer goes down, but that is a little bit too late. PattyMac, again, continuing to be down in that economy. He did kill a lot of disruptors, don't get me wrong. He was able to snipe 4 disruptors in the end, but they already paid for themselves. Like, it's fine. PattyMac needs another way to come back. He has +2, working on +3, working on charge. The comeback potential is there, but as long as Nina keeps pumping out disruptors, like, I don't see it, puppy. I don't see it. We'll see as PattyMac moves out across the map again. Does finally get eyes on the 4th base. Does know how far behind he is. And now he's forced to double expand. Is now getting his 4th base back up and running after having a faster 4th earlier. We see a blink go forward as well. Nina, she just has so much. Again, there are worse upgrades on her stalkers, but she just has the numbers and forces the cancel. We have yet to research charge. Oh wait, no, sorry. We do have charge here for PattyMac. Charge on the way for Nina. Oh my god. Oh. Almost another Nova going off, but nice target firing by PattyMac is able to shut down that disruptor, and Nina is going to be pushing out across the map. PattyMac forced to give up this position. Does have a decent stalker count. He's going to blink on forward once again. He can target down these disruptors, but again, he just doesn't have the numbers. The concave is just far too great. GG gets called. Nina fights back, and we have an ace match. Oh my god. PattyMac had such a great start with his adepts dealing that economic damage, but again, Nina is so smart, recognizing how behind she was. She was behind in probes, she was behind in bases, she was behind in upgrades. How do we come back? Disruptors, Poppy. We go into disruptors as soon as possible. And not just that, to be fair, I do think that despite the faster disruptors, PattyMac could maybe come back. But the real MVP of that game wasn't the disruptor, it was the observer. If you remember, the observer in between the 3rd, the 4th, and the 5th of PattyMac that had eyes on everything. Nina constantly had vision of the army movement of PattyMac, and she just kept out-positioning him. That's how she was able to get on top of his 4th. That's how she was able to get so many juicy Provocation Novas off. So, very, very crucial and very important observer there. Does it for Nina. We are going into game number 5. PattyMac just posted in the chat for all to see, both myself and Nina. He's like, yo, this has been a good series. It's like, respect. Oh god. Here we go, we're getting into game number 5. The ace match. It all ends here. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the American Protoss player. He is blue, representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is PattyMac. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Cosmic Sapphire, we have the other American Protoss. She is red, representing License to Kill LTK. It is Nina. A very close series here, and I'll be honest, if all goes right in the world, both Nina and PattyMac qualify for DreamHack North America. They both deserve to be there. But for now, there can only be one. As a reminder, the winner of this series moves on. The loser will have another chance. There is a lower bracket, so the loser will not be knocked out of this tournament. They just have more games to play. Oh boy. Here we go. As we have these 2 gate openers coming out from our players, as we should expect. It makes plenty of sense here. On a map like Cosmic Sapphire. To be fair, there are players like Trigger, specifically on Cosmic, because there is such a choke point here on the low ground, they will still go for the gate expand. But it looks like Nina and PattyMac, they are not that kind of Protoss players. They don't want to take those risks, so they're just going to open up in a standard fashion. As they both move out here with their probes, just confirming, and PattyMac is going for a proxy pylon. Oh my god, PattyMac has no fear. He has no chill. It could be the ace match of a best of 5. It could be a qualifying match, but he does not care. As we see 2 Stalkers going up against 2 Stalkers. And PattyMac was thinking about it, but okay, he's going to be coming back in with his probe. I was like, mate, are we going to see a pylon here behind the rocks? No, we are not. He's going to go back in for a scout. And it looks like he is looking to expand. Never mind. He does have chill. He is a sane human being. He is a sane duckling. Or is he? The probe of Nina does go down, and PattyMac does have a probe active on the map. He can make use of it if he wishes. But no, we do see a Stargate opening from PattyMac, and I do think that a lot of this comes down to the fact that Nina did lose her scouting probe. PattyMac will take control of the Zelnaga. Nina scouting around her base, actually very paranoid. Nina scouting here towards the linear gold base, over towards the top right hand corner as well. Nina is looking for those proxies, doesn't find any though. As she goes for the natural base. Before that natural though, Nina did make a second wave of Stalkers. We can see 4 Stalkers to 2. So instead of going for a much stronger or investing in his army, PattyMac did go for the tech and a faster Nexus instead. So a bit of a different way when it comes to expanding. And now we have the tech of choice for Nina. She's not going for a Stargate, she is going for a Twilight Council. So a couple of things here. Thankfully, we do have a follow-up of sentries, and we should be seeing a hallucination coming across the map. But because it wasn't a sentry opener and it wasn't a sentry follow-up, like this is the 5th and 6th unit. This hallucination is going to be late, and she has to play it safe. There we go. Doesn't have a shield battery on the way. The shield battery is in the natural, so this Oracle could deal some damage. Thankfully, because she's playing blind and because she doesn't know what PattyMac is doing, she at least has 2 Stalkers in the main. It's a very smart play here by Nina. Oracle is going to dip in, maybe get 1 probe, does get 1, gets 2, and dips on out, taking a little bit of hull damage. Meanwhile, the Oracle is going to rotate on over. PattyMac has seen the natural, is going to confirm the shield battery, and shouldn't deal too much damage here either. Ooh, even taking another hit. So what's important is that the Oracle is still alive. Because of that, there is potential for more damage later on, especially if we don't have a shield battery in the main base, so Nina has to be a little bit careful with that. Meanwhile, on the other side of things, PattyMac is setting up a reinforcing pylon in the middle of the map. Oh boy. We have 3 gateways. This is pretty important. Looking at the vision here for Nina, she did see all 3 gateways, and as a response, she's going for her own 3rd gateway and for a Dark Shrine. Meanwhile, PattyMac is going to be going for 2 base, 4 gate Blink Stalkers. As we have that 4th gate in the middle of the map as a proxy to reinforce, PattyMac is pushing out across the map, and this is an interesting moment. A Dark Shrine shouldn't end the game. Even if DTs go across the map, we have an Oracle, we have a Stargate, we have access to detection. And this isn't going to be an all-in because PattyMac is going for a Forge. He's looking to invest into +1 attack. Meanwhile, the hallucination of Nina is going to come across that proxy, so she knows about the 4 gate. She's preparing herself back at home. She's going to be warping in some more stalkers, getting some more shield batteries. There is a second shield battery here at the natural. PattyMac knows he got scouted, so I really love this forge. He knows that the likelihood of this dealing damage isn't going to be that high. Meanwhile, Nina is just confirming that the gateway did finish up here in the middle of the map. PattyMac aware that he got scouted. We still have the Oracle. We have a revelation. Ooh. The Dark Shrine is still gone unscouted, and we do have a DT on the way. Oh my god, DT across the map even. PattyMac being a little bit greedy, going for a 3rd base. And that Oracle doesn't have a lot of energy. Oh god. Is going for the Stasis Trap. He does not have enough energy for a revelation. Ooh. But a massive Stasis Trap goes off here at the natural base. Meanwhile, the DT is going to reveal himself. Swiping away at the Robo. We are going to be seeing a recall on this Oracle, but again, I don't believe we have enough energy. We do! Oh, but there are 2 DTs. We need another Oracle. We need another Oracle, puppy. Ah, we can't wait for the Robo. As 5 probes have gone down, the army is turning around. By the way, there are so many more DTs, and we still don't have another Oracle. PattyMac, he refuses. Meanwhile, Nina's pushing out across the map. She's going to be able to shut down this gateway. And she's also looking to force her way up the ramp. It looks like we were able to deal with the second DT. Nice body blocking here, but Nina is on the way. Do we have a shield battery? We're going to have 1 cannon on the low ground. Oh my god, and Nina is going to take down this, oh my god, this 3rd base, and it's too much damage. PattyMac has lost far too many probes, and he's taking too long to deal with the DT. Nina is going for the kill move. She's up in supply. And even though there's an observer coming out, like, there just may not be enough here. She has the concave, she has the stalker numbers. There is no shield battery. PattyMac being a little bit too greedy, going for the 3rd base, is going to be punished for it. Finally, the DTs are all going to be cleaned up, but again, he's going to be losing a base. He's going to be down in not just economy, but in bases and everything. In the end, the DTs did end the game. PattyMac was so stubborn. He could have gone for an Oracle. He could have gone for a Chrono on that Oracle as well, but he was just being as greedy as possible, waiting for that Observer. Did get it in the end, but it is going to potentially cost him the game. He's a little bit supply blocked. He's down in army. He's trying to pump out Immortals to help out, to help supplement for things. Ugh. As we have a recall and the Oracle goes down. Now, PattyMac has one thing. Just like the last game. He's got +1. So, I guess he can kind of come back. He's got +2 on the way. He's got a 2nd forge. For some reason, we have 2 forges. I think PattyMac may have forgotten about the first one. So again, just panicking because of the DTs really getting into his head. We have a Dark Shrine on the way to come back. And the Dark Shrine could work wonders. But Nina has 2 observers. One outside her natural and one with the main army. Yeah, Nina going to be focusing down these rocks. We're going to get a couple of free shots off here for PattyMac. Does take out the Observer with the main army. But the Dark Shrine is still on the way. Immortal gets focused down, and this is going to be just too much. Again, there is 1 shield battery behind this. We are going to have an overcharge. But even losing these probes is too much. The overcharge is being popped. We have another Immortal coming out. PattyMac forcing this back, but Nina just pounces on that Immortal. It goes down immediately. And the numbers are just far too great here. PattyMac fought so hard in this series. We just couldn't pull it off in the end. He took it all the way to the ace match, and I hope he's not feeling too sad outside of that. As GG gets called, and Nina will qualify for DreamHack North America. I had to think about which button it was. But GG, well played. Nina will qualify again off the back of those ZTs. PattyMac 100% panicked when those DTs revealed themselves. PattyMac had a Forge already in the main. He could have gone for cannons. Had a Stargate as well. Could have gone for more oracles. Instead, he went for the Robo and was waiting for observers. The worst case scenario there. The worst option as well, just because it would take so long to get observers up and running. And GG.